Hey, how y'all doing out there today? Listen, between last night and this morning, I saw a lot of things going on. I saw a lot of troops airborne, jumping out of planes. It seems like, all the, military business down here at, Fort Benning and Fort Mitchell, and I've heard up even in Fort Bragg, it's just really ramping up. I see people talking about, our toxic environment, our rivers dead, our oceans dead, plastic everywhere. Everybody seems confused. They don't know what to do. Everybody's talking about vaccines. Everybody's talking about health care. When if we were healthy and worried about our health, we wouldn't be worried about health care. But besides all that, I kind of started thinking about it, and it really got me upset because I hear so many excuses about certain things, and they're excuses. Blatantly on borderline cowardice. It's borderline freaking cowardice, y'all. But you've been programmed into two lies. And one of them is, it's not my job, not my mess, not my problem. And the other one is, I'm just doing my job. Well, let's start with the first one. Well, hell, I won't tell you what, I'm going to start with the second one first. Just doing my job. So all the people that work for energy, the pipelines, the fracking, the military, the corporations, Monsanto's, Halliburton, the so-called medical industry, the doctors, the teachers, you're just doing your job, huh? So a kid don't act right in your class, you send them to the doctor, they put them on Ritalin, and the doctor says, well, I'm just doing my job. I'm gonna calm this kid down by giving them amphetamines. This is just an example now. And they give the prescription to the teacher. She puts it in her drawer, and she's just doing her job by giving this kid amphetamines to keep him a zombie in her class. Well, that's not doing your job. That's destroying a young mind and a child's life. Our future, my future. How about that? Let me get greedy for a minute. Let me get selfish. I'm worried about my future and my children's future because of what's going on with the children today, because they are the future. But you're just doing your job. A doctor that comes out and tells a new parent, hey, beautiful, healthy baby right here, but in the first 12 hours of its life, we need to give it the hepatitis vaccine so it don't get hepatitis. He's just doing his job. No, doctor, you're not doing your job. You're burning a baby's brain out. You're endangering people because your pharmaceutical industry that gave you your medical degree told you to do that. The police officers out there, you're just doing your job. When you beat somebody down, when you profile another human being because of their color or the length of their hair or how they're dressed or their political affiliation, wow, you're just doing your job when you murder people in the streets that are unarmed. Wow. And all you people out there working for big energy, I understand, or big oil, I understand that you got to make a living, but dying ain't much of a living. Killing the planet that you live on, that your children have to live on, is no living. You're creating death. When you go and dump coal sludge into rivers, when you build these pipelines where 100% of pipelines leak. No, you're not doing your job. You're not making a living. And then you sit there and say, well, if they leak, that's not my problem. That's the engineer's problem. Or this ain't my problem, that they made laws about vaccines. Or all this is too big for me. That's a psyop lie. That is what keeps you being the little man. That keeps you powerless. That keeps you a coward. That keeps you living in fear. That it's not your job. It's not your responsibility. I didn't make that mess. I didn't put all them plastic bottles in the Pacific Ocean. I didn't cover the Caribbean with plastic. I hadn't destroyed third world countries so I could have gasoline in my car. That ain't my problem. No, that ain't my issue. These planes going out here and jumping these soldiers off. Oh, well, that's just the government, man. They just doing what they do, going and stealing somebody else's oil. That's not my problem. Everything that happens around you is your problem. Everything that happens around you is your responsibility. And it's your damn job. It is your job to fix it. You walk by a piece of paper, I don't care who laid it out there. You pick it up. You see where there was a car wreck and they left glassing all over the street. And you don't want your kids in it. And you're like, oh man, them cleanup crew didn't clean it up good. Go out there and clean it up. That is your job. This planet is your job. These children is your job. And nothing is too big for you unless you let your little mind think it's too big for you. I'm tired of it. This is why we are in the shape we're in now. This is why everything is flooding around us, and they're playing with the weather, and they're playing with your minds. The war for the mind has been the most important war out there, and they are winning it. They are winning the war for the mind. A small few amount of people have convinced billions of people that it ain't your job. It ain't your problem, and that you're just doing your job. Hey, the guy that works at the waterworks, when you're pouring that bag of fluoride into your community's water system, you're just doing your job, huh? No, you just poisoned your community. You get it now? And y'all that let them do it, you say, oh, it ain't my job. That's them. I can't do nothing about it. I'm going to go out there and knock that bag of fluoride. I've done it. I've done it. I've been arrested for going to a waterworks and trying to stop them from putting fluoride in the water. You damn right. Yeah, that was back in the 80s. It don't matter. It don't matter what I do. Here's the thing. I see anybody out there that's a good person. It's what you do when nobody else is looking. Picking up a piece of trash. Talking to a young child when they're confused or needing some help, some guidance. Feeding somebody. Talking to a friend or a stranger that you see crying. Seeing a lady, the one that really got me, the reason I'm really fired up right now is watching the video of that 78-year-old woman having that punk-ass son of a bitch come up and kick her in the face 3 or 4 times, and everybody on the damn bus or the train or whatever it was just sits there and films it. Nobody went up and beat the dog shit out of this man. Nobody went off and pushed him away. Nobody went off and said, hey, brother, what the hell you doing? No, we all sit and watch because it ain't our problem. It ain't our problem that your grandmother just got the shit beat out of her because some idiot. I guess he was just doing his job, huh? Ha! Wow! I am like completely mind blown on these two concepts you have been spoon fed and programmed into your mind. Everything is your job. Everything is your responsibility. You were put on this planet to be a steward for this planet. Not to destroy it. Not to let others destroy it. Not to say, oh, this is too big for me. I can't handle it. You can handle anything thrown at you. You've just been told that you can't. You are the most powerful human being in the universe. But you don't know that because you're not told that. You got to wake up to your own inner power. You got to wake up to who you are. Start being you. Quit emulating. Why do you think they put all these cowards and these fake-ass rich people out there and these comfortable, cushy lifestyles that make you a fat hog in a pen? And you look at it and you say, I want to be a fat hog in a pen. I want to be like that guy. I want to be like that woman. Why don't you be like you? What would you do if you saw a little child crying in the street? What would you do if you saw somebody hungry and you had a little bit of food on you? What would you do if you saw a toxic spill or a fracker or a pipeline coming through somebody's backyard? What if you saw children with little lesions all over their skin from drinking fracked out water? You'd go teach the people how to clean their water. You teach them to plant mushrooms around the toxic areas so the mushrooms absorb the toxins. You'll teach them to live. That this planet, these children are all of our responsibility. And I don't care what you think because of the fear that's been thrown out there at you. And everybody, I want to protect my kid. I want to protect my kid. Well, look at what the protection for your children has gotten you. Disease, sick children. 53% of our children now. It was 51% last year. 53% of our children have a chronic illness. You're not taking care of your children by listening to the state. And the biggest point about your children, yeah, I'm trying to throw a little guilt on you. I'm trying to throw a little reality on you. But here's the thing. That is our future, y'all. What are you going to do without them? And why are they sterilizing them? Why are they sterilizing them like they sterilized the kids in India and they sterilized the kids in Africa? And you're like, oh, well, them poor kids, man, they can need to lead their life and they don't need to have all them people over there because they don't know how to live. They're starving. They don't know what they're doing. Hey, there you go. You took responsibility for that, didn't you? You can take responsibility for the death of other people by blowing it off and saying, well, they just couldn't take care of themselves. No, they don't live the American dream. They don't live the American nightmare. But look at our kids. We are third world. You're out there begging and demanding free health care. Why aren't you demanding free healthy food? Why aren't you demanding free healthy water? Huh? Why aren't you demanding health? Demand health, a healthy life. But see, you see everything around you and you say, that's too big. Bill, I can't stop that. Oh, man, Monsanto, they just running rampant. Halliburton, oh, I can't stop these offshore oil rigs. I can't stop, boy. Well, no, I guess you can't. And you can't do nothing because your thumb stuck up your ass and your brain's full of fear. Fear is a disease. Knowledge is the cure. Think about that. But don't tell me it's your job, you're just doing your job anymore. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that cowardly excuse that you're just doing your job. And I don't ever want to hear from any of y'all ever again about how some problem's too big for you, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have the resources, or we all got to unite. We got to get everybody on board. Wow! You got to have everybody in the world to get your back. No, you got your back. You get your back. You get your children's back. You take back your lives. You be healthy. You be you. You know what's right. Why do you keep going to a government or laws to do the right thing? Why do you think they're even going to do the right thing when they sold out your country and you got a fracking rig in your backyard and a pipeline's going up your ass and oil spills and gas spills and toxic shell oil all over the place? But we just complain about it. Oh man, now somebody's got to clean this up. Well, no, you got to do it. Just like I pointed out Houston, Texas the other day. Those people been taking care of themselves for the longest time. They ain't asking the government to do nothing. Floods, spills, fires. They still taking care of themselves. There's you a shining example. Look at other places around the world where they take care of themselves. Look at places like Iceland, where they took care of the evil government. They didn't say it was too big for them. They didn't say it wasn't their job. I don't ever want to hear that come out of any of y'all's mouths anymore, because it's a defeatist attitude. It is a program in your mind. It has indoctrinated you into you since school, being told you can't do certain things. You can do anything you want. Think about that. Seek power. Don't seek servitude. Don't look for a God or Jesus or Allah or somebody to take care of problems that you can take care of yourself. We all look for somebody to be our war daddy. We all look for somebody to take care of this. We want somebody to clean up the mess. Well, ain't nobody going to clean it up. If you can't stop them from making a mess, how the hell you think you're going to get them to clean it up? You ever stop and think about that? No, this is a wake-up call to y'all. It is not your job. You're not just doing your job if you're hurting this planet or if you're hurting your brother and sister, especially if you're hurting our children. It is not your job if you're teaching fake history and giving kids Ritalin. That you're not doing the job. The job is teaching. The job of a police officer was to serve and protect until the corporations change that. So they all need to be fired, and we need to take care of ourselves. But no, you're still going to wait on somebody to do it. Look at the people that call the police to do their job and protect them, and they wind up getting blown away, or their dog or their kid. Think about that. Because this is that insane these days, y'all. They got it mixed up for a reason. They know something's coming that is too big. It is too big, the 12,000-year cycle. But fine, I don't even want to get into that. My main point is your job is to make sure that the children coming up behind us have the same thing to live on that you had to live on. Your job is to take care of things around you. No matter how big or impossible you think it is, you just start doing it. And everything is your responsibility. Don't ever think in your mind for 1 second ever again that everything you see around you is not your responsibility. Because our compliance and our consent and our laziness and our fear have us in this place we're in today, where you hate your own brother because of politicized bullshit. The same damn game thrown at you over and over, and you still play it and you lose every time. That's suckers, y'all. That's ignorance. That is cowardice. And none of y'all are dumb, and none of you are cowards. You're brilliant, strong human beings that care. You all have giant hearts. You all know that this is wrong. So change it. Live the change. Be the change. Is that money worth killing other people? I want you to think about that when it comes to your job. If you work on an oil derrick, you're a pipeliner, you're a fracker, you're a police officer, you're an army soldier, no matter what you are. I'm not condemning what you do. I'm just asking you, is that paycheck worth killing and putting other people's lives at risk? Is that your job? To toxify the earth? Is that your job, to kill other people? Oh, but you got to make a living. Like I said, dying ain't much of a living, boy. And that's what Outlaw Josie Wells said. I think it's about time we got back to some bushwhacking and started taking some of this shit out. But I'm a man of peace. So all I'm going to ask you to do is turn your back on these two lies. These two indoctrinated, programmed lies. These two psyops. Everything is your responsibility. And your job is leaving a clean, healthy environment for your children to live in. And if you don't have children and you don't care, well, fine. Fine. Because you're a very small few group of people, and we really don't give a rat's ass about you. If you're that selfish and greedy that you're just going to eat it up and suck it up and make all the money you can killing other people, fine. Because when you cross the river, all them people that you helped kill, all them people that you made sick and they died, they're going to greet you on the other side of the river. And all you people that ain't spiritual or you think this one certain way, fine, go ahead. But I'm telling you right now, you're living a lie, and you're being a coward, and you're living in fear. If you say, I'm just doing my job, or it's too big for me and it's not my responsibility, I don't ever want to hear it again. I love y'all. And you know what? It's not the kind of love you'll ever think. I love y'all because I see the potential inside of each and every one of you. I see inside of each and every one of you the struggle with the right and wrong, with what can I do. Well, let me give you a little good news. You can do anything you want to. You can do anything you want to. You just got to go do it. And guess what? The other beautiful thing about it is there's millions of people around you that want this change. There's millions of people around you that see that this ain't right, that see that we've been lied to, that see that we've been programmed into the domestic little fat hog sitting in a pen. And they want to escape too. So there's your unity. But that's, like I said, that other psyop. Well, until we get everybody on board, we can't do nothing. Bullshit. 3% of what was so-called Americans at the Revolutionary War fought the Revolutionary War. 3% of the population changed we went from one slave system to another, but you see what I'm getting at. 3% of this country. That's a lot of people. That's millions of people. And you really got to think about stuff like that. That's roughly 10 million people. Y'all, you think what 10 million people could do? That's 3%. And I ain't talking about no oath keepers or no militia. I'm just talking about 3% of regular people, unarmed, peaceful people, could turn our backs on this and just live our lives and show the rest of America what care and love is really about, what stewardship, what being honest with ourselves. Being honest with ourselves is really about. Because I know it's scary. I know some of these things we see are amazingly fearful. The spraying of the skies, the people getting killed or arrested for trying to stop certain things. Yeah, that little minute amount of people can't do nothing. But a million people got behind them. Just a million. There's 330 million people in this country, y'all. There's almost 8 billion people in the world. And you're telling me we can't change what just several thousand do? You'll never convince me of that. And that ain't funny. I shouldn't even laugh. That 8 billion kissed the ass of a few thousand. Wow. Wow. We the people. What have we become? But don't tell me no more. Don't tell me. And I ain't going to bother you no more. I ain't going to bother you no more about it. This is my last time ever talking about it. You know what's going on behind your eyes. You know what's going on in your own heart. And I feel your struggle. I know it's hard. You see things. You might be my age and think you're too old. You might think you're too young. But you know what? From the youngest child to the wisest elder and oldest elder, there's solutions and answers to all of our problems with all of us. That's the beautiful thing. All of us have a solution. All of us have input on this. None of us are left out of peace. None of us are left out of good health. None of us are left out of having a clean, healthy environment. We can just do it. I saw down in Florida where they made it legal all of a sudden to grow gardens in your front yard. Wow. Who made it illegal? You see what I'm getting at? So do some things. Change your life. But don't think that you're so small, that you're the little man, that you can't do nothing, or that it's just, that you're just doing your job. When you say I'm just doing my job and you're doing something that's harming something else or another person, you're just as complicit as the company you're working for. Matter of fact, you know how they blame the guns for mass shootings? Well, I blame you for what the corporations have got you programmed into doing. You're the gun. You're the weapon, and you don't even know it. I want you to really think about this, because you can change it. This is the whole point. You can change it just by living the change. One person, just you, just you. If you live the change, you changed. You changed. You're living it. So live it. Clean it up. Plant things that'll help. Instill power and confidence into our children. Keep them healthy. 53% of our children have a chronic illness. God mighty. And we don't even care, because it ain't your responsibility. Like I said, I love y'all, and I just want the best for you. And if it makes me look like an asshole, if it makes me look self-righteous to tell y'all some blatant, ugly truth, then so be it. If you don't like it, go away. But if you understand, if it resonates with you, go look in the mirror. You don't even got to have a mirror. Just look inside your own heart and think about what you can do today. Think about what you can do. Quit thinking about what you can't do. Think about what you can do. Quit thinking about the negative. Think about the positive. Quit thinking about the hate and think about how you can love again. There you go. We've been programmed to hate, and we've been programmed to sit on our ass. And that's programming. We wasn't this way when I was born. It wasn't this way 55 years ago. But it's this way today. And it's going to be the death of us all. Think about that. I love y'all. I'm going to get off here. But I just want you to know. And I tell you this one thing till the day you die. You are the change, and you are the most powerful person you will ever meet in your life. So go look at the most powerful person in the mirror and say, I love you, and I'm the change, and I'm going to be the change. Peace, and don't live in fear.